Hi, so my name is Adriana, and I'm going to be giving a book, like a book review on all of the books that I have read so far. And by the way, this is my first video, so keep in mind, I'm just like a little not used to talking on camera. So the first book I'm going to be reviewing is the Cousins book. This book was a good book. Well, I don't know if it's still. So the first book I'm going to be reviewing is the Cousins book. I don't really have much to say about this book because I didn't get to finish the book. I started this like a while ago. It was like way before I started like my reading journey. This book, I stopped reading it because it was kind of boring in the beginning. Not kind of, it was boring in the beginning. I read like 4 to 5 chapters and like it was good, but it's just like I thought it was gonna be like a horror book, and it just wasn't like that. So, but I mean, I'll give it another shot if I hear good things about it. I didn't really hear much. Like, this wasn't a book that I heard about. I just thought that it was a good book at Barnes & Noble. And it doesn't even have much in the back to say. It just says, families keep the best secrets even from each other. Which I was like, oh, it's a really good book. But I'll probably read it again. The next book I'm going to be reviewing is the Stranger Things book. Well, I obviously got this book because I'm obsessed with Stranger Things. Like, Stranger Things has my whole entire heart. This book, it did get pretty confusing at times, but it is like, it's a cool concept. As it says in the title, it says choose your own adventure. I say a lot. So, for instance, so you'll go on a page, trying to find like a good page. Okay, so you'll go on a page, and then if you want to do something else, it'll be like, if you choose to go inside Eddie's trailer, turn to the next page. And then it says, if you choose to wait for Max, turn to page 150. That kind of thing. And it gets confusing because it's like, you turn to the next page, and then once you get to page 50, then you're like, wait a second, I'm not supposed to be in this part. You know what I mean? But besides that, it is a really good book, and it is exactly like season 4, which is what I would think it would be like. But yeah. And yeah, so this next book that I'm going to be reviewing, talking about, gotta have a moment. Gotta have a moment with this one, okay? The Fourth Wing. I want the sprayed edged one so bad, but this book is the best book that has ever been created, ever. Okay? This book, I don't even have any words, like, honestly. But I'm gonna just try to give a rundown without spoiling. So, pretty much, it's about this girl, Violet. She got into a little situation, and her mama is not the same no more. So, her sister, Violet's sister, Mira, ended up coming down, trying to help her. Didn't end up working, but kind of worked out for the best. You'll see towards the end. Anyways, the mom is trying to have Violet do something that she doesn't want to do, but Violet ends up finding some things out and finding some things out. And then there's this boy, Zayden. First of all, Zayden? And then second of all, Zayden and Violet or Endgame. Honestly, no one could tell me otherwise. No one should say otherwise. It's just like so much information in this whole book. It's a lot. There's never a dull moment. There's never a slow moment. Something's always going on, which is good. And yeah, like once something stops, another event, another moment happens like immediately after. And there's just a lot of like, you know, like sometimes you gotta like, let me pause real quick. But this book is so good. You get so into the characters. Like, it was a roller coaster. Like, I cried, I screamed, I gasped. I fell in love with characters. Like, you put yourself in their shoes, in their position, and you, like, imagine how it is for them. You know, I'm just get it. Just get it. It's such a good book, just get it. So, the next book I will be reviewing is Better Than the Movies. Before I review this, I just realized I hadn't been saying the authors on the books. So, The Cousins is by Karen M. McManus. The Stranger Things book is by Rana Tahir. Probably butchering that, sorry. And then The Fourth Wing is by Rebecca Yarros. I'm just saying this one more time. Get it? I know it looks like a lot. It starts to get super good in the middle of the book. If you think the beginning of the book is good, girl. So, Better Than the Movies is supposed to be, it's supposed to be better than any rom-com movie. Honestly, in my opinion, it is, but that's my opinion. And yeah, but I'm gonna give a quick little rundown about the book. So pretty much it's about this girl, Wes, and this girl, Liz, and Wes. They've been neighbors since like forever, and Liz has always seen Wes as her enemy, as her like, oh my gosh, like he's so annoying boy. Well, in his point of view, that's not how it is. Okay, but Liz has had this crush on this boy. I forgot what his name is. Michael. She has always had this crush on this boy, Michael, and he's always been so sweet and so kind to her, and she just loved that about him. Until once they got older, he ended up coming back home and going to her high school. She ends up finding some things out and getting really mad, so she asks Wes for his help. And after that, she ends up finding some things out. Michael ends up finding some things out. Everybody finds things out. And she ends up really seeing things. That makes sense. But I'm just saying this. Get this book. Lynn Painter, I want to read all of her books because this is like 10 times better, and people say that her books are 10 times better than this, so I want to read all the books. Next book I'll be reviewing is Love in Other Words. Also, PSA, right? PSA. If I'm going a little fast on this, is because I talk a lot and I don't really know how to explain things, so I'm trying to like get through them as much as I can, and I could and I spoil things very easily if I don't catch myself. So that's why I'm like trying to go fast before I start spoiling things. But Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. This book is one of the best books ever. Definitely does not top The Fourth Wing. That's for sure. Not even. No. But Love in Other Words. I'm gonna give a quick little story about what this is about. So it's about this girl named Macy, where she gets into a little sticky situation and she ends up not feeling the same anymore, and she's the type of person that she gets very tired of things quickly, so she needs to move, like, go before she gets, like, bored. So her dad bought a little cabin out in, like, a little small town, and they moved in there, and when they're looking at the cabin, she ended up finding her long life best friend there. So you'll find out how. Okay? But it's a really, really good book. They end up reconnecting in a way that I didn't expect, honestly. In my opinion, I didn't really expect it. But they end up reconnecting. And they talk about, she talks about how they were in the past, like how close they were, and how they drifted apart and why. And yeah, you should get this book. It's such a good book. Such a good book. Next book I will be reviewing is Purple Hearts by Tess Wakefield. I obviously got this because of the movie Purple Hearts, which I watched multiple times the day it came out. It's such a good book. It really is. It's the same situation. Well, obviously, it's the same situation as a movie, and of course it's going to be different. The book is going to be different than the movie, but it was, like, the total opposite. Like, you would think that it would be, like, oh, there's some, like, differences. No, this is, like, the complete opposite. I feel like there's a lot of differences. Besides that, it is a really, really good book, and I loved it. I honestly really did. I loved it. But honestly, could you have just watched the movie and been okay? Yes. Could you have just read the book and been okay? Yes. Yeah. If you want to read, like, two different sides, like, what would it be, like, different ways the situation was held? I don't know. Then you should read the book and watch the movie. But if you don't really care, then I don't know. I'm not good at explaining things. I'm sorry. But I don't know what to say. I'm nervous. But yeah. So the next series I'm going to be reviewing is the Summer I Turned Pretty series. I obviously got this series because of the Prime Video series. And I'm gonna just say this. It's a super good series for teens. I feel like it's a very, like, teen, girly, not more of a young adult, like, older teenagers, adult book series. It's definitely, for sure, a teenager series. So, just want to throw that out there. But I'm gonna, and these are by Jenny Han. If you hear background, if you hear, like, stuff in the background, it's my family. But the first book is about Belly, where so her mom and her brother all go to the summer house every summer. The summer house belongs to the mom's best friend and her family. And her mom's best friend, which is her name's Susanna, she has these two boys, Jeremiah and Conrad. And Susanna has always told Belly that she was destined for one of the boys. So the summer that when they went up there, this is the summer that she turned pretty. And one of the boys ends up seeing her differently, and the other boy starts to see her not like a sister. It says one of the boys has always thought she was such a close best friend's sister, and he ends up seeing her as more. And the other brother he's like, oh, she's pretty, I like her, kind of thing. And he just thought of her as, well, like another sister, and oh, that's my mom's best friend's daughter, kind of thing, you know? But the other boy, the older one, he's always had a connection with her, and they've always had a way of seeing each other and talking to each other, and he's just seeing her as way more than that now. And yeah. But the second part in the series is It's Not Summer Without You. They don't end up going to the summer house this summer because they got into a little situation. Belly made some decisions happened, decisions were made, life happened, and Belly, not everybody agrees with Belly right now at the moment, and she doesn't really agree with herself, and the brothers aren't really brothering, but Taylor is coming to try to save her day and do stuff where they live, and go to parties, go shopping, all that stuff, and Belly's just not feeling it. So not until one night Jeremiah calls Belly with the situation, and she has to go down, and yeah, she has to go down and help Jeremiah. Stuff was said during the little drive down. Things happened when they arrived, and yeah. I'm trying so hard not to spoil things, but yeah. So the third book in the series is We'll Always Have Summer. This book is longer, but it is really good, and I flew by these books so quick. They were so addicting. But this book is about she ends up getting into a relationship with someone, and she ends up splitting up. They end up splitting up, and she ends up finding someone new, and things happen that is like, what are you doing? And yeah, it was like and yeah, things happened, things were said. She does have to make a really, really, really this decision will make or break her life and her, and she has to really think. She has to think, because Belly doesn't really think, and she needs to see who she's hurting, who she's not hurting, and how everyone else is going to feel, and it's not just always about her. Yeah. But this series is a really good series, and the other book that I'm going to be talking about, I don't know where the book is at, but it's called Girl in Pieces. This book was a really, really good book. I didn't get to finish it because it honestly got very dark. It does talk about mental health, harm, and it just talks about how girls live and girls with, I don't know how to say it, like, I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say, but girls that have these moments and these times in their life that they don't know what they're doing with their life, and that they just want to, like, and they start doing stuff to themselves. And it was I got it because everybody on TikTok was saying that it's a really, really good book, and it is a really, really good book, but it did get a bit dark for me, so that's why I stopped reading it. It's very emotional. I don't know if I said, but it's about mental health, and yeah, I want to read it again, but honestly, I don't know if I can, because of how it's just, like, again, it's very dark, very emotional, and you just get, you feel for the girl, you feel how the girls feel, because that's how you feel. And yeah, if you want to read a book that talks about how you feel and what you're dealing with, and that everyone else is feeling like that, and that there is a way to change, like, there is a way to adapt to it, and help, like, there's a way to help it. And yeah, I don't know exactly what the whole entire book is about. I just know from what I've read and from what the back of the book says. But it's a really good book if you like those kinds of books and that genre of books. So, thanks for watching. I feel like this video kind of went kind of fast, but I'm trying to get through the books as fast as possible. Of course, giving you guys the information about what the books are about without me spoiling it, because I can very easily spoil something, and I don't want to do that. I hate when people spoil movies, shows, books for me, and I'm like, oh, what's the point of watching it, like, hearing about it anymore? Because I already know I feel like I already read the book. But that's why I kind of went fast, and I hope that you guys got an idea of what the books are about. But I'm gonna just say this: The Fourth Wing. My phone died, but as I was saying, the top books that you need to have in your life and read them is Love in Other Words, The Fourth Wing, and Better Than the Movies. You need to get those books. But anyways, besides that, thank you for watching today's video. I hope you liked it, and I'll most likely be making more videos in the future, book hauls, vlogs, everything. I'm gonna expand my content. I'm not just going to only do reviews. I'll probably do all-nighter book marathon or whatever, stuff like that. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.